What if I told you that a single fruit, something so ordinary, so overlooked, could drastically reduce your risk of suffering a stroke? Not a miracle drug, not a complicated supplement, just a natural food that's likely already within your reach. This is a story of a man who made one small change to his daily routine, and how that decision may have saved his life. But more than that, it's a story backed by science, confirmed by doctors, and filled with a warning we all need to hear. Luiz was a quiet man, 63 years old, a retired literature teacher. He spent his mornings reading in the backyard and his afternoons helping his grandchildren with homework. He wasn't an athlete, but he wasn't unhealthy either. No one, not even Luiz himself, could have guessed what was about to happen. It started with forgetfulness. He'd misplace his phone, forget appointments, and stumble over words. At first, he laughed it off. "Must be age," he said. But then, one morning, as he was speaking with his daughter, something terrifying happened mid-sentence. His mind went blank. The word just disappeared. He froze. His heart pounded. He tried again. Nothing. A silence, heavy and paralyzing, took over the room. That week, more symptoms followed. Dizziness, sudden fatigue, tingling in his left hand. Finally, his wife insisted he see a doctor. After a battery of tests, a neurologist gave them the news. Luiz had a high risk of suffering an ischemic stroke. A clot was forming in his brain. Slowly, silently. And then came the sentence that changed everything. If you don't act now, it's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when. Back home, Luiz sat at the kitchen table in silence. He stared at his hands, at the photo of his granddaughter on the fridge, and felt something rising inside him. Fear, yes, but also urgency. He didn't want to live in fear of the next attack. So he asked the doctor, "Is there anything I can do besides medication?" The doctor hesitated and then said something that would seem ridiculous to most. "Have you ever considered eating pomegranate every day?" Luiz blinked. "Pomegranate? Isn't that just for decoration at Christmas?" The doctor nodded. "Yes, but it's also one of the most powerful natural anti-inflammatories we know of. It helps protect blood vessels, reduces oxidative stress, and studies now show it can significantly lower the risk of stroke." Luiz was skeptical, but also desperate. The next day, he bought 5 pomegranates. He juiced them, ate the seeds, and even made tea from the peel. And he did this every day, religiously, for weeks, then months. Slowly, his energy returned. His thinking became clearer. He started feeling like himself again. 3 months later, Luiz went back for new tests. And what they found shocked even his doctor. His inflammation markers had dropped. His blood pressure was lower. Blood flow to his brain had improved. It was as if the ticking time bomb in his head had been diffused. Naturally, without a single pill. But this isn't just Luiz's story. It's backed by hard science. Researchers from the University of Haifa in Israel and several studies published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition have found that pomegranate contains polycollagens and other polyphenols that significantly reduce vascular inflammation, one of the main precursors to strokes. These compounds help prevent the buildup of plaque in arteries. They also lower systolic blood pressure and improve the elasticity of blood vessels. In fact, one study showed that patients who drank pomegranate juice daily reduced their carotid artery thickness by 35% in 1 year. That's not just preventative, that's transformative. But here, Esteput, no one talks about. Most strokes, Danti, come without warning. The body whispers. The signs are there. We just don't listen. The dizziness, the brain fog, the fatigue, and we ignore it until the day it screams. And that's exactly what Luiz did, because after months of feeling better, he got confident, comfortable. He stopped drinking the juice, stopped buying the fruit, started eating like before, just for a little while, he thought. And then one night, he collapsed, slurred speech, numbness in his face. He was rushed to the hospital. The doctors stabilized him quickly, but they were clear. He had narrowly avoided a major stroke. A few minutes longer, and things could have ended very differently. That moment changed Luiz forever. He realized something profound. Health isn't a goal you achieve, it as a choice you make every single day. And food isn't just fuel, it's information. It tells your body what to become. Luiz returned to his daily pomegranate habit. But now, it wasn't just about avoiding a stroke. It was about reclaiming control. Every glass of juice, every spoonful of seeds, it became a quiet act of resistance. A message to his body. Not today. And now, he shares his story wherever he can. Not to sell a product, not to preach, but to say something simple. Don't wait. Don't wait for the emergency room. Don't wait for the paralysis, the regret, the silence. Because the truth is, over 80% of strokes are preventable. We just don't act until it's too late. What if the real secret to protecting your brain isn't hidden in some lab, but in your own kitchen? What if the strongest medicine is the one we overlook every day? Luiz is alive today, not because of luck, but because of a decision so small it felt almost silly to eat a fruit, to believe in something natural, to listen before it was too late. So ask yourself, will you wait for your body to scream, or will you start listening to the whispers now? If you know someone who had a stroke or is at risk, share this video with them. It might be the reminder they never got. And if this story touched you, maybe it was meant to subscribe to this channel, but only if you're truly ready to change